My name is Jen Mayberry and I've been airbrushing for 23 years. So my phone rings one day and it's Kim from House of Color and she says, hey, do you want to paint Elaine's final race car? She's retiring. And I was immediately super excited and overwhelmed because I knew that this was going to be a huge project, and what I was putting on myself was I wanted to make it a super special car for Elaine. So I was immediately super excited to be on board with this project.
My name's Elaine Larsen. I'm the president of Larsen Motorsports and the founder of Blazing Trails. You know, when it came time to pick the person to paint my last race car, it was just an easy decision. I had met Jen Mayberry at the SEMA show in 2019, and there was just something about her that just clicked. And so when Kim and I started talking and we said Jen at the same time, I was so proud to have her accept the challenge to come and paint my last car. So Jen Mayberry, you're the one. So this paint job means a lot. This is the 9th jet car that I've had. And I don't know, I've had everything from lightning bolts to skulls to, just different kinds of swishes to, like a checkerboard pattern. But this one is like a transition for not only my jet car, but for my career of where it's going. So it kind of shows a real life Panther to a mechanical Panther to into the digital Panther, meaning it's kind of the progression of the different life of the Panther and my progression into more of the techie side of Larsen Motorsports.
Which, naming it PELE, is the Hawaiian goddess of, fire and power, volcanoes. So, something like that evokes the whole theme of power and speed.
Everyone says, why a Panther? It would be easy to say because Florida Tech's mascot is the Panther. But for me, PELE just kind of struck a chord. She is the goddess of fire and a volcano of power. And so now every single time I sit into this car, I have to channel my inner PELE. I have to channel that inner goddess of fire and make sure that I put my very best on the line when I line this car up.
My name is Tom Smith, National Sales Manager for House of Color. So the history of House of Color, John Kosmowski created this line because he was trying to get a car painted back in the mid-50s and was having trouble getting that done the way he wanted, so he started creating color, and that's how the whole line was created by John, and he took it from there and built it to what he did.
Oh my gosh, there could only be one color, and that's the House of Color, right? I was able to kind of mix and match and tell Tom and Mike what I wanted, what I saw for the base color of this car. I said red, and they took red to a whole nother level. This is probably the coolest color I've ever seen, and photos and video do not do it justice. They gave me like 3 to choose from, and the first one just caught my eye. This has so much candy, so much sparkle, so much flake. Baby, this car is going to shine even when it's not on fire.
I believe all the colors on the car are custom. So the candy base coat was made especially for Elaine's car. And the colors that I use are a custom mix from Steve's line. And then I actually, I made a red from them when that was also a custom. It was a magenta and solar flare that I mixed up.
My name is Fred Kosser, and I own Custom Painting Services in Vero Beach, Florida. So one of the challenges we had to overcome on this car, because it is a currently racing car, was the time frame challenge. Trying to meet those expectations, get this car completely prepped, shot, back to the crew so they can get it back together. Plenty of time for Jen to do her artwork. That was one of the big challenges we had to face and put a lot of hours in getting it done to meet the deadlines. First challenge in this one was getting it prepped with the time frame we had. And so many pieces having to mock up and get those prepped and then aligned back up perfectly so it aligned back with when it was on the chassis, so all the artwork lined up correctly.
It's hard because I know that I'm this girl in this male-dominated field and stuff, and although I am very serious and I work very hard, that the minute I show up, most time when people lay their eyes on me, they're like, what is this girl? And I don't pretend to know everything, and I don't try to be like, oh well, let me tell you how to run your body shop. But I'm there to do a specific job. Like, I'm very good at airbrushing. That's what I'm here to do. And I know what I need. So Fred was awesome. From the moment I talked to him on the phone, I was like a little bit nervous, and then the minute that we had a conversation, I was like, this is gonna be great. And I walked in, and the car was in pieces, and they were starting to sand it, so I was like, all right. So I picked up some sandpaper and jumped in, and we sanded the car, and then we put it on the jig, which was like 2x4s all screwed in together. And then, yeah, I just got to work. But they were super accommodating, like way helpful, and especially Rob, the painter. He did all the base coat and everything. He cleared everything. So he was like amazing. If I had any questions or I needed, anything, I rated his cabinets every day. And they were, I took over the booth for, I think, 4 days before they were like, we kind of have to move you out a little bit because we have to clear stuff and we can't do that with you in here. Yeah, but it was absolutely wonderful to work there, and they could handle my jokes.
So meeting Larsen Motorsports, meeting Jen Mayberry, using House of Color products, those are a lot of the fun reasons why I do what I do and we started this business. These projects make it fun. When you can come to work every day and do what you enjoy, it's not a job anymore, it's just fun.
So this project has been an honor and a privilege. Not only have I met some really smart, savvy businessmen and gifted airbrush artists, but been able to showcase the House of Color line. I've made lifelong friends. Jen Mayberry, I don't even know where to start with her. She is so gifted, so talented. She is a nutball just like me, and I love it. I love her work ethic. I love her perseverance, and I just love her work on my car. I mean, this is the most beautiful jet car I've ever owned. I'm gonna be proud to drive it this year. Fred from Custom Painting Services. Man, he thought that he was just gonna have this quick job of this girl said, hey, can I borrow your paint booth for a quick paint job? He's like, sure. He didn't know what was in store for him. This man opened his house, he opened his home, he took time away from his family, his work, and he just let us in. The guy in his shop, all of the guys in his shop are just extraordinary. They were so proud to be a part of this project. I think the most important part about Fred is he got it done on schedule. He got it done to where it's perfect. And now he's a part of the Larsen Motorsports family. This Gen 6 car is near and dear to my heart. Watching the students from Florida Tech come into Larsen Motorsports and work on the design phase of this car every single day, the blood, the sweat, the tears that these students put into this car, it is an honor and it's a privilege to be able to be the driver behind the wheel. I'm going to take that extremely seriously in the next year, and I hope to do them proud.